Prajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tida Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Jashodanandana Prajajana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Paripradrakacharya Stotra Satashi Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Nam Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Mukund Radha Kunhiri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamana Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. People are entering who need to be admitted. Yes, okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This is Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th Canto, Chapter 5, Text 25. Evam vidhaneka gunasaraja paratmani brahmani vasudeve kriyakalapai samuvaha bhaktim yayavirinchyan nirayangs chakara. Evam vidhaneka gunasaraja paratmani brahmani vasudeve kriyakalapai samuvaha bhaktim yayavirinchyan nirayangs chakara. Evam, in this way, vidha aneka guna, endowed with varieties of good qualities, saha, he, Maharaj Ambarish, Raja, the king, para atmani, unto the super soul, Brahmani, unto Brahman, Vasudeva, unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, Vasudev, Kriya Kalapa, Kalapai, by practical activities, Samuvaha, executed, Bhaktim, devotional service, Yaya, by such activities, Avirinchan, beginning from the topmost planet, Nirayan, down to the hellish planets, Chakara, he experienced that there's danger everywhere. In this way, because of devotional service, Maharaj Ambarish, who is endowed with varieties of transcendental qualities, was completely aware of Brahma, Paramatma, and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And thus he executed devotional service perfectly. Because of his devotion, he thought even the topmost planet of this material world no better than the hellish planets. Purport. An exalted and pure devotee like Maharaj Ambarish is in full awareness of Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. In other words, a devotee of Vasudeva, Krishna, is in full knowledge of the other features of the Absolute Truth. The Absolute Truth is realized in three features: Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Prameti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Shabdyate. A devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, knows everything. Vasudeva Sarvamiti, because Vasudeva Krishna includes both Paramatma and Brahma. One does not have to realize Paramatma by the yoga system. For the devotee, always thinking of Vasudeva is the topmost yogi, yoginam api sarvesham. And as far as Gyan is concerned, if one is a perfect devotee of Vasudeva, he is the greatest Mahatma, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. A Mahatma is one who has full knowledge of the Absolute Truth. Thus, Maharaj Ambarish, being a devotee of the Personality of Godhead, was in full awareness of Paramatma, Brahma, Maya, the material world, the spiritual world, and how things are going on everywhere. Everything was known to him. Kasmin nu bhagavo vigyate sarvam idam vigyatam bhavatiti. Because the devotee knows Vasudeva, he knows everything within the creation of Vasudeva. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Om Jnana Timirantasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Pada Mahyam Tatati Shapadantikam. Mandeham Shri Guru Shri Jatapata Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Bhaganatan Vitamstam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavani Shri Prishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hori Priya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vaishali Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. So, Evam Vidhan Eka Guna Saraja Paratmani Brahmani Vasudeva Kriya Kalapai Samuvaha Bhaktim Yaya Virinchyan Nirayam Strakara. So, the king was endowed with all good qualities. Vidha aneka guna. Vidha means kinds of, or like fold, as in fourfold, eightfold. So aneka, unlimited or countless qualities. A king had by virtue of devotional service. And Paratmani Brahmani Vasudeva. He simultaneously rendered service to Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan simply by serving Bhagavan. One doesn't need to separately realize the Paramatma. One doesn't need to separately realize Brahma. Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Krishna is everything. So if one realizes Krishna, then everything's included. Brahma, Paramatma, Maya, everything. So this point, Srila Prabhupada makes that simply by Krishna consciousness, by realization of Krishna, one realizes everything, all the other features of the Lord. Such a devotee does not give much value to the highest standard of happiness within this material world. Narayana para sarve na kutaschana pipyati svarga pavarga narakeshvapi tu yarta darshana. Because he is fixed in devotional service, a devotee does not regard any position in the material world as important. He sees Svarga, the upper planets, and liberation, Apavarga, and the hellish planets, Naraka, as equal. Srila Prabodhananda Saraswati is therefore written, Kaivalyam Nadakayate Tridashapur Akasha Pushpayate Durdan Tendriya Kala Sarpa Patali Protkata Dangstrayate Vishvam Purnam Sukhayate Vidhi Mahendra Ischakri Kitayate Yat Karunya Kataksha Bhaivavatatam Tam Eva Gauram Stumaha. For one who becomes a pure devotee through devotional service to great personalities like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Kaivalya, or merging into Brahma, appears no better than hell. As far as the heavenly planets are concerned, to a devotee, they are like a phantasmagoria or will-o'-the-wisp. And as far as yogic perfection is concerned, the devotee does not care a fig for such perfection, since the purpose of yogic perfection is achieved automatically by the devotee. This is all possible when one becomes a devotee of the Lord through the medium of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions. Yat karunya kataksha vaibhavatam. Even if one gets a sidelong glance from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or the representative of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then this comes. Kaivalyam nadakayate, and the impersonalists are aspiring for oneness with the Absolute, but the devotee thinks that such oneness is as good as hell, because there's no individuality, no exchange, no loving dealings, no opportunity for devotional service. That's hell. And Tridashapur, the heavenly regions, Akasha Pushpayate, he thinks that they're like a flower, like flowers in the sky. Flowers in the sky means something non-existent, like horses' eggs. The so-called pleasure of the heavenly planets seems that way for the devotee. And Durdan Tendriya Kala Sarpa Patali Kodkata Dangstrayate. The senses are compared to serpents, always ready to bite. But for a devotee, they're like serpents with their fangs broken or pangs removed. Yes. And Vishvam Purnam Sukhayate, the whole world appears happy for him. Vishvam Purnam Sukhayate, he's happy wherever he goes. And Vidhi Mahendra Discha Kitayate. And the demigods like Lord Brahma and Lord Indra seem to him like insects, insignificant. Not that he disrespects the demigods, but he sees that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and the demigods are his assisting hands and legs only. So these are some of the qualities of Maharaj Ambarish, such outstanding devotional qualities. Sarvaya Gunais Tatra Samasate Sudha. And yes, maybe I'll stop here and see what kind of questions there might be, if any.
There are any questions? I can ask one more. Like, you're speaking about surrender, especially like in times of like difficulties, and different people like tend to take up different things as like Krishna is there, and like taking shelter of Krishna is for sure like the ultimate thing. Still, they want to like they feel like more practically I need to take shelter of or arrange things in such a way so that like I have to make sure things are secure. So is like again surrender, or it's also a responsibility to make things like material arrangements to make sure things work? So how much is the right ratio or
Depends
balance?
who you are. How much should we Krishna, how much secure? That depends on you, who you are. The sannyasis and the brahmacharis should not give much attention to material arrangements. I'm going to switch networks. Okay. You should not. The sannyasis are supposed to depend on Krishna, exclusively depend on Krishna. So Shukadev me in the second, are the trees not giving bark that you can use for clothes? Are the rivers not giving water? Are the trees not giving fruit and berries? Don't you have your arms for a pillow? Don't you have the land to lie on? And then why should you go flatter materialists to make your where security is really important? So the sannyasis are particularly meant to be independent of movements. They're not meant to fix up, I'll get some disciples, I'll get some regular income, I'll bank some money in case of medical needs or this need or that need, and I'll be fixed up. That's not how sannyasis should think. Or brahmacharis. Brahmacharis are like happy-go-lucky. Not exactly happy-go-lucky, but they're happy. And they're lucky. They render service to the spiritual master, and they too don't worry very much about their material arrangements. But the vanaprasthas are on the path of trying to free themselves from dependence on material arrangements. They're moving in the direction of greater renunciation. But the grahastas have some responsibility in this material world, and they have to make material arrangements. We hear that when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got married, the first thing he went on a tour and made some money teaching. Because a grihastha has an establishment to maintain. He has to maintain his wife, he has to maintain his children. Therefore, he has to arrange for their security, for their maintenance, for their needs. Otherwise, he's irresponsible. And if he just says, no, it's all Krishna, no, that means he still wants to be a brahmachari, but have all the perks of householder life without accepting the responsibility. No. When you get married, the fun's over. You can't just do as you like, or you're not free for simply reading Bhagavatam and chanting Hare Krishna. Now you have some duties, some responsibilities. Of course, the grihasthas also may be very detached and not very concerned with even basic material arrangements. We hear of Kolavecha Sridhar, who was making a nominal income selling some vegetables and banana cups made of banana skin bark, banana tree bark. And his roof was leaky, but why fix it? Too much trouble. So he was not very much inclined toward giving attention for material maintenance. But in the grihastha ashram, at least some attention has to be given. And that's not condemned. Is that okay?
I really appreciated the point how there are differences. It's not like one, it's not the same for everyone, but there are like differences depending upon our situations. So that makes it more understandable.
Yeah, it's not just that we all say, oh, everything's up to Krishna. It is. Even the grihasthas who are busy trying to arrange for security or arrange for financial stability, they still have to recognize that it's up to Krishna. I may make every arrangement in the world, and if Krishna desires, it'll all fall apart in an instant. And there's so many examples how one's business may fail, or so many things may fail. One may die. He's busy planning how to protect his family, and he falls victim. So there's no guarantee. Finally, the grihastha has to understand that if I'm able to do anything, it's by the grace of Krishna. It's for the service of Krishna, and it's by the grace of Krishna. The spiritually advanced householder should understand that. So in none of the four ashrams does one think, it's all done by me. That's described in the 18th chapter. Tatraivam satikartaram atmanam kevalam tuyaha pashyatya kritabhutitvan nasapashyati durmati. There are 5 factors that bring about the success or accomplishment of any action. And the main one is Daivam, the personality of Godhead. So anyone who thinks, Atmanam kevalam tuyaha, it's just me that's making it happen, is a fool, nasapashyati. He doesn't see things as they are. Durmati, his brain is not working. Buddhi akrita bhavan, what is that? Akrita buddhitvan, his intelligence is not right. One has to see, finally I'm dependent on Krishna. something else, some comments, questions? We're all dependent. Even in householder life, we're dependent. In any situation, we're dependent. And only Krishna is dependable. We may make arrangements for security or safety or whatever, and it may work to a certain extent, but there's no security in this material world, finally. We're seeing that with COVID-19, it can enter anywhere, and then all of your security arrangements are out the window. We see that sometimes the political circumstances in a country change, then all the arrangements that you've made for physical safety, financial security, they all get junked just like that. Any mob can invade your home and do anything. So the currency can disappear, just evaporate in value. How should grihastas prepare for vanaprastha? Pavitra Renu asks. Well, I have an answer for that. Hold on 1 second. Give me a minute. I've given several seminars on this topic, the most recent being on the Tuaco, New Jersey YouTube channel, and the web address on YouTube where the sessions are posted is there. Now, let me just think about that. Actually, that's wrong. I've given you the wrong one. Anyway, yeah, that's just that's not the right address. But if you go to YouTube and look up Vanaprastha Adventure, I think you will find it. That's where we've posted many days worth of discussion on this topic, how grihastas should prepare for Vanaprastha life. I should say also that, well, that's enough. I shouldn't say also and also and also. But the first thing is, and thank you for asking, is that grihastas should prepare for Vanaprastha. Grihastas should prepare for Vanaprastha. There's sort of an idea that maybe it doesn't apply to us, or we just put it off the table, put it out of view, and don't think about it. But Srila Prabhupada in all of his books repeatedly makes the point that one should advance according to this varnashram system, including by accepting the Vanaprastha ashram, Panchashordham Vanam Braje. By the age of 50, one should be moving out of the householder ashram and into the next ashram for spiritual progress, the Vanaprastha ashram. So that is a topic on which I've compiled a fair amount of instruction from Srila Prabhupada. And YouTube. Yeah, there we go. Now I wonder whether there are any other questions or comments that someone would like to make.
Hare Krishna, Jayadvaita Maharaj. Thank you so
Hare.
much for the class. It's so nice to see you. My husband and I used to go see you at 26 2nd Avenue all the time. And it's so nice to.
Who's speaking?
My name's Andrea. I'm right here.
Oh, yes, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I have a bit of a practical question, hopefully. So when I have friends who are asking me to like pray for them, or, to just, they're having problems and they're looking for help, how do we do that in a way? Because I've been told that we shouldn't be asking Krishna for anything, but then if we have devotees who are asking us to pray for them, like, how do we balance that out? I don't know if I'm making sense in my question.
Yes, you're making very good sense. People ask us to pray for them, but we've heard that we're not supposed to pray to Krishna for material things, not supposed to pester him with material requests. So how do we balance that out? I haven't heard Srila Prabhupada specifically address that thing, but even when Srila Prabhupada allowed petition Krishna to allow Srila Prabhupada to stay in this world at the end, he had to give you fire. So that's the first thing, to acknowledge that Krishna's not my order supplier. But if you so desire, then this or that. Beyond that, my suggestion would be that if you pray to Krishna for the welfare of this person, that will be good. In other words, we don't have to specifically pray, may these quickly. You please be kind to them and help them, which really means Krishna consciousness. And you can say so, because if they become Krishna conscious, every other problem is solved. Krishna Bhakti Koilo, Sarva Karma Krita Hoy. Everything else is done if one becomes Krishna consciousness. Everything's included in the package. And that we find in the case of Maharaj Ambarish, because he took full shelter of Krishna. He was safe even from Durvasa Muni and his wrath. So when people want us to pray for them, we can't say, well, I don't pray for you, sweetheart. I'm not interested in your material demands or desires. I'm not going to go to Krishna for that. But after all, they're looking for some solace, and they're coming to you as representing Krishna. So you can respond that yes, and then pray to Krishna that they become Krishna conscious, that everything work out by as Krishna may desire. Does that seem all right? I can't tell whether it seems all right or not. Andrea?
Sorry, I said thank you, Maharaj. I didn't realize I was still muted. I apologize. Force a habit. Thank you again.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Something else? Okay, let me look back here.
Hi, Krishna Maharaj.
Hare
Dante
Krishna.
just wanted to let you know that you're a little choppy today, so hopefully we're still able to get all the nectar as possible, much as possible. I had accidentally sent your Vanaprastha Venture link, actually. Oh, okay. Gautam Prabhu was not able to resend it. I'm on my phone, so for some reason I'm not able to copy it, but I will resend it for everyone. Apologies.
Okay, you can. Hold on. Yes, you can send that link. That would be very nice. Thank you. Looking back, Evam Vidhaneka Guna Saraja. Although he was the king, kings are sometimes thought of as less advanced, materially entangled. But this king, Ambarish Maharaj, Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindeo, he fixed his mind at the lotus feet of Krishna and engaged all of his senses one after another in the service of the Lord. So this king is transcendental, Kriya Kalapai. He did everything necessary, practical activities. That's how Srila Prabhupada translates it. Kriya Kalapai. Samuvaha Bhakti. The conclusion was devotional service. Everything he did was for the service of the Lord. Everything he did was for the service of the Lord. There weren't two accounts. This is for me, this is for Krishna. Everything was for Krishna. His kingdom, his daily affairs. That was his interest. So we can follow that. Mahajana Yena Gata Sapanta. We can follow the example of Ambarish Maharaj by dedicating what we have to Krishna. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Manasa Deha Geha Yoki Chumor, Arpilu Twapade Nandakishore. My dear Nandakishore, Krishna, whatever I have, my mind, my body, my home, Yoki Chumor, whatever it is that I might have, Arpilu Twapade Nandakishore. My dear Nandakishore, I offer that to you. And then you can do with me as you like. Arabi Rakabe Toj Chatohar, Yuj Chatohar. I'm your servant, so you can protect me, you can kill me. I might prefer that you protect me, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Even if Krishna kills us, well, that's good to be killed. Prabhupada told the story that Maricha was approached by Ravana, mystic, approached by Ravana. You take the form of a golden deer and you distract Sita Devi so that so that Ram will chase you and I can kidnap Sita. So then Maricha refused that if I do this, Ram will kill me. So Ravana replied, if you refuse to do it, then I'll kill you. So Maricha replied, well, better to be killed by Ram than a rascal like you. And he agreed. So even if we're killed by Krishna, that's very fortunate. All of the soldiers who were killed by Krishna or the demons killed by Krishna, they attain liberation. Then what to speak of devotees who are 100% dedicated to the service of the Lord. Yashodamai and so many. What will they achieve? Well, that's described how the devotees in the perfect state are allowed to reciprocate with Krishna, to serve Krishna in the kingdom of God. Kriya kalapaya samavaha bhaktim yaya virinchyan nirayam shakar. Avirinchan, all the way up to Brahmaloka, Nirayan, down to the hellish planets. It's all the same for a devotee. Good illusion, bad illusion, it's all illusion. Illusion means it's there, but it's temporary. So the devotee finally, he may go anywhere for the service of Krishna. Because of his devotion, he thought even the topmost planet of the material world no better than the hellish planets. Any place where there's birth and death is an unsuitable place. Any place not dedicated completely to the service of the Lord is an unsuitable place. Srila Prabhupada used to quote his Guru Maharaj, no place for a gentleman, this material world, no fit place for a gentleman. So our business is to get out. Napnivanti Mahatmana Samsitim Paramangata Mam Upetya Punarjanma Dukali Shashvatam. One should aim at the personality of Godhead, aim at serving the personality of God. Mam Upetya. And then Punarjanma Napnivanti. One will not have to take birth again in this temporary troublesome world. Sangsitim Paramangata. He attains the highest perfection. So I think we're at 8 o'clock and we're supposed to stop here.
Thank you so much, Mahesh. If anybody else has any questions or comments, please feel free to share. Or if you have a few minutes, there's one question here on the chat with me.
One question on the chat.
It's a direct message to me. So the difference, the question is about, I'm just paraphrasing, it's a long thing.
About what?
The question is about, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says like, Brahman, you achieve Brahman realization and then you can come to devotional service. But here this verse says that like he was a devotee, so he was aware of Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan realization. So how do we understand these two concepts?
Sagunan Smriti Chaitam Brahmabhuyaya Kalpate Mam Shayobhyabhacharena. How does one attain that Brahman realization spoken of in the Bhagavad Gita? Mam Shayobhyabhacharena, by pure devotional service. One doesn't have to speculate or to reach the Paramatma. One doesn't have to undergo some sort of yogic process. Mam Shayobhyabhacharena Bhakti Yogena Sevate. One just has to engage in devotional service. Then Sagunan Samati Jaitan, one transcends the material modes, and Brahmabhuyaya Kalpate. But Brahmabhuyaya Kalpate doesn't necessarily mean he attains impersonal, or doesn't mean he attains impersonal Brahman realization. Why, as a result of devotional service, would one attain impersonal realization? Rather, Brahmabhuta means the platform of spiritual, of self-realization. There's the Jiva Bhuta, material false identification with the temporary body. When one is freed from that and identifies himself as spirit soul, then Brahmabhuta. Then he's on the Brahmabhuta platform. Brahmabhuta prasannatma nasochati nakakshati. Samasarvesha bhuteshu. And madbhaktim labhate param. Therefore he engages in devotional service. Is that okay?
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for taking out your time and giving your association at this time. I'm so sorry, Maharaj. My internet connection is choppy today.
Yes.
His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.